Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, whichever time you are deciding to join me on this series of From Shush to Shit to the Shift with Dr. LaTracy. I came at this time because one, I'm doing a little bit better with changing the time up, but I wanted to share with you a little bit about what is going on. I've received a lot of text messages, inboxes, emails, as well as some pop ups in the middle of COVID um, to tell me about this series. So let me tell you about the good stuff first, because we always got bad stuff. So the good stuff is that I have had people tell me, I believe this is a good message. It's a good um, presentation, but oh, I love your transparency, but uh, I'm looking forward to hearing more. But okay, so if any of you know me, you know I'm Dr. LaTracy. I am a mom of three, biological, one bonus, and I am plus sexy, right? So in the midst of all of that, I'm not a little girl at all. And so I've always been taught that when someone comments on your butt, it's a good thing, depending on who it's coming from. But when you are thinking about the English terminology, when you have a sentence and you say the word but, that means that you are ignoring or negating the things that were said prior. Not on my watch. So I am here to share with you that I appreciate all the feedback, good, bad, or indifferent, because I believe that we all have butts, some bigger than others, some more blessed, and like myself, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to carry so much because I believe that these big broad shoulders has equipped me to handle whatever comes my way because I can do all things through Christ and I cast my cares on him, right? So because of that, I am here to share with you the importance behind sharing your story. I told you that there's a lot of good and bad feedback with this series, Shift Happens. But let me tell you why I decided in the 10th month of 2020 to share my story. Because one, a lot of great things happen in the 10th month. The new beginning, the new start. Most people say the ninth month we're giving birth. Okay, I get that. But actually it takes place in 40 weeks, which is 10 months. So if you got it, if you're a mama, you carry them babies at any time, your body naturally goes through the process for 40 weeks. Now, some of us get a little impatient when it comes down to our purpose and want to pressure the process and we want to push it sooner than later, figuratively and naturally. And so I'm going to tell you that now that we are in this 10th month and we passed the mid mark, I need you to know that there's power in your story. Yes, it has been painful to go back and relive some of that story. But the reason why I have decided to share it is because there is purpose in my pain. Many of you know that I have a little one, and her name is Purpose. And I found out in the 10th month, in 2000 and what year was that? 11, 2011, that I had cancer and that I would no longer be able to have children, right? That's what they told me. That you hear me? That's what they told me. And so I had just moved here to Mississippi, and Mississippi healthcare is not always the best. And so they had told me to go over to Alabama, which isn't too much better. But neither here nor there. I digress. And they told me that I had to go through this procedure, this hysterectomy, so that I would be able to prepare to remove what was taking away what needed to be there. Follow me because I have a method to my madness. We're in the 10th month, which represents new beginnings. But in the 10th month, I found out negative information. But also in the 10th month, they removed it. The beginning of that word, remove, is to take away, to do over, to start anew. all in the 10th month. And so I thought everything was so bad and that it was so negative. And I'm like, well, I got my 2 baby girls, but God, you told me I was going to have 3 daughters. And and God just kept saying, trust me, trust me. And during that process, I was all going through teaching people all about the word of God. And I'm sitting here broken, busted, and disgusted in the house in Mississippi that I showed you guys on my social media. And in the 10th month, it was the beginning of something new because God had to strip some things from me. He had to take some things from me in order for me to be prepared for the new. Have you guys started doing your fall gardening? There are only certain fruits and vegetables that can be um, prepared for and can be planted in this season. They can't be planted in the spring. They can't be planted in the winter. They have to be planted in between September and the beginning of November. You guys have to look up all your little your gardening information at your own time. But it's specific things that can only take place in the fall. A lot of people don't look at the timing of a thing because they're so busy trying to rush it. Remember, I said it takes 40 weeks for a baby to be born, 40 weeks for the process to take place. And 40 weeks is actually 10 months. So in October, I thought things would be going well. But back in 2011, they weren't for me. I thought, but it was a preparation for my purpose. You guys always hear me call her my purpose because I was at a place where I didn't feel that God loved me. You know, when you get that bad medical report, when you know when that man doesn't love you the way you feel like you need to be loved, you know, when those kids are acting out, you know, when your money's funny, you know, all of those things, right? So at that time in my life, in that season, I felt like I was all alone and I didn't feel God's love. And he was like, I got you, baby. Just embrace the process. I got you. Don't rush it. I got you. Hmm. So this is why I share my story, because didn't you hear me when I said the doctor said, they said, see, y'all got to get people up out your ear because you know, you have to believe who you're going to believe. And it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to feel good. It's not always going to look good, but it's going to be for your good. And I share that with you because I realized everything that I was going through then was for now. It's for you. We're in the 10th month again. What is it's the 19th of, yeah, it's the 19th of October. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 19th. Now, I'm not a guru when it comes down to all these numbers or anything, but those who are, feel free to put it in the comments below. But at the same time, I need you to think about this. What is God preparing you for? And are you trying to rush that thing? Are you willing to do the work? Remember, I said some things can only be planted in the fall. Only some things can take place right now. They may not look good, but it's going to be for your good. So when they told me back in October of 2011 that I would never have kids again, and in my disobedience, I found out 6 months later. Y'all heard me say disobedience. I told y'all in the other videos, you know, what I was doing. Y'all didn't catch that? Go back and watch those. Go back and watch those. But in those, I think that one was called Blood Doesn't Make You Family. So go back and watch that one. But not but, and I need you to realize that in that process of my life, I was disobedient. I knew I wasn't supposed to be out here trying to find my own man. I wasn't asking God for permission. I wasn't seeking God for what I needed to do or who I needed to date or who I needed to even connect with. You can't connect with everybody, especially in this season. This season. You can't connect with everybody. You got to watch their spirits. But that's a whole nother broadcast. But what I'm saying to you is that 6 months later, after the process of the removal, God was preparing me for my purpose. The pain pushed me into my purpose. Why did the pain push me into my purpose? Because I needed something to push me. I needed something to make sure that I was getting there, that I was catapulting into what I needed to do to walk in my destiny. My coach says it best. He says, your purpose is what God gave you, but your destiny is what you give back to God. I'm like, man, that makes a whole lot of sense. So what are you doing with all that pain? What are you doing? Are you sitting back and you're just not allowing the purpose to be fulfilled because of all the pain that you've gone through? No, not having it in this season. There is a purpose for your life and you need to walk in it and walk heavy. There are many things that can come up. Depression, anxiety, COVID by itself brings a whole lot of, I can tell y'all, I got some therapists and some preachers, teachers, and some psychiatrists that you can talk to, even virtually, because this season alone has not been easy. But I posted something in my community in Black Authors Rock earlier today about this organization paying $50,000 for them to hear your story. And y'all over here telling me, stop telling my business. Not. I'm running that. I'm getting that. Why? Because it's purpose in your story. No, I'm not a cusser. And even people that know me that are in my circle, my family, my, even my associates know that I'm not a cusser. But at the same time, when I say that I've been through some shit, I have. Has it been pretty? No. It's been many a days that I was walking around here looking crazy and going through the process because I didn't even know the steps that I needed to do. I didn't even understand what was going on and how things were supposed to be and how I was going to move forward. But the purpose of everything that I went through has pushed me to where I am today. There's a reason why you've been through what you've been through. It is. It's a reason why you have these mountains and these valleys. It's a reason why I am telling you that shift happens. Because it's so important for you to see and to know that it is important for not only you, but those who are in your circle. So I'm going to continue to tell my story. Why? Because your story is important. And I do not have a problem being the one that shares my intimate secrets. Because one, I'm also making money from it. And I can show you how to do that. I'm very strategic. Very, very. I'm very strategic. So understand that. But everyone who goes through something, it does not always have to be pretty. This is Domestic Violence Month. It's a whole lot for a person to go through. And you don't have to go through by yourself. So trust and believe that you're not by yourself. So trust the process and know that you're not alone. Meet me over in the Black Authors Rock community. The link is below. Make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page. Also join us in the community because we have some juicy things that are going on over there. And I thank you for helping me and being there and supportive and just loving me. It hasn't always been easy, but it's been worth it. So you have an amazing day and remember to believe in yourself.